He walks into the coffee shop, confident, relaxed, unbothered. Designer jacket, perfect stubble, that calm smile. Women notice. He doesn't rush. He doesn't try. He doesn't impress. And somehow, it works. Within minutes, conversations start. Laughter follows. Numbers are exchanged. You watch this and feel it. Confusion, admiration, and a quiet question. How does he do this? How does he read women so easily while you're still guessing what they mean? How does he move through emotional situations without hesitation while you're stuck overthinking every word and every look? How does it all seem so natural to him? Here's the part nobody tells you. That man was not born this way. He didn't start confident. He didn't start smooth. He didn't start detached. Most likely, he started as the opposite. He believed too much. He trusted too fast. He loved too deeply. What you're seeing now is not talent. It's adaptation. Confidence forged by disappointment. Calm built from chaos. Control learned through pain. The men who look the most comfortable with women are often the men who were once the most naive. They learned the hard way what doesn't work. And they paid for those lessons emotionally. What looks like ease is actually experience that has been compressed into instinct. Mistakes repeated until patterns became clear. Hope replaced by observation. Emotion replaced by understanding. This is not charm. It's scar tissue that learned how to move. Here's the mistake most people make. They think this confidence is natural. They think it's charisma. They think it's genetics. It's none of that. What you're looking at is education. Not the kind you get in school, the kind you survive. Men who move smoothly with women didn't learn that from success. They learned it from failure, repeated failure, emotional failure. The kind that forces you to either adapt or stay stuck forever. Most of these men began as romantics. They believed what movies taught them. That honesty wins. That devotion creates desire. That giving more love guarantees more loyalty. They didn't play games. They didn't hold back. They showed up fully and expected the same in return. And reality corrected them. The women they invested in pulled away. The ones they prioritized stopped choosing them. The more they gave, the less they were valued. Not because they were bad men, but because attraction does not follow moral rules. It follows psychological ones. This creates a breaking point. A moment where belief collides with evidence. Where hope becomes unsustainable. Where continuing the same behavior only guarantees the same pain. That moment changes everything. After enough disappointment, emotion stops leading. Curiosity takes over. Instead of asking why she left, he starts asking how attraction actually works. Instead of expressing feelings, he starts observing reactions. Instead of investing blindly, he studies patterns. This is where mastery begins. He starts noticing things he was too emotionally involved to see before. That availability lowers desire. That mystery increases interest. That being centered in himself matters more than being approved of. He learns that attraction responds to energy, not effort. From the outside, this looks like confidence. From the inside, it's restraint. A man who has learned that emotional control is not suppression, but protection. He's not cold. He's calibrated. He's not detached. He's selective. And that selectiveness is what women feel. Not as calculation, but as stability. A grounded presence that doesn't chase, doesn't panic, and doesn't need to be chosen to feel whole. This is where it goes deeper. Because what changed wasn't just his behavior. It was his perception, his psychology. Men who've been hurt don't just feel pain. They analyze it. They replay conversations. They dissect moments. They ask uncomfortable questions about where things shifted and why attraction faded. This process slowly turns emotion into data. At some point, he stops taking rejection personally. Not because he doesn't care, but because he understands patterns. He sees that attraction is often inconsistent, influenced by timing, emotional states, and unconscious dynamics that have little to do with effort or intention. This awareness sharpens his perception. He starts reading micro-signals, tone shifts, body language, the difference between politeness and genuine interest. He notices when words don't match behavior, when enthusiasm fades, when interest is conditional. What once confused him now informs him. This is how emotional intelligence is built. Not from books, from exposure. From paying attention when things go wrong instead of numbing the pain or blaming others. With time, he develops distance. Not emotional numbness. Perspective. He no longer chases clarity from women who are unclear. He doesn't invest where signals are mixed. He trusts patterns more than promises. This distance creates power, the kind that feels calm, not aggressive. He responds instead of reacts. He observes instead of explains. And because he's no longer desperate for outcomes, he becomes far more grounded in interactions. Women feel this shift immediately. They sense when a man is emotionally stable rather than emotionally hungry. When he's present but not needy, interested but not dependent. That presence feels rare, and rarity creates value. This is where the scar tissue forms. Not all pain disappears. Some pain transforms. When his old beliefs collapse, they don't vanish. They harden. They reorganize. They turn into psychological protection. Just like scar tissue on the body, this new structure is stronger than what existed before, but less sensitive. That reduced sensitivity is often mistaken for confidence. He no longer attaches his self-worth to a woman's reaction. He no longer interprets attraction as proof of value or rejection as a personal failure. This internal separation creates emotional boundaries that feel solid and calm. From the outside, it looks like indifference. From the inside, it is self-preservation. This is what gives him control, not dominance. Control over himself, over his reactions, over his emotional investments. He chooses where to engage rather than reacting to whoever shows interest. That choice is powerful, because women are used to men who are emotionally available before they are emotionally chosen. Men who offer depth, effort, and validation up front, hoping it will be rewarded later. This man does the opposite. He waits. He observes. He allows attraction to reveal itself before he invests. That restraint creates tension, not fear, not manipulation. Tension born from stability, from not knowing where they stand, from sensing depth without immediate access to it. The scar tissue also gives him depth. He has lived through disappointment, betrayal, loss. That experience gives him emotional range that men who have never been hurt simply don't possess. Women feel that depth even when they can't explain it. He understands pain, but he is no longer ruled by it. This combination is rare. Emotional experience paired with emotional control. Vulnerability that exists behind boundaries. Strength without aggression. And that is why wounded men often become the most compelling men in the room. This is the final truth. The men who understand women best are rarely the men who started confident. They are the men who were broken early, learned fast, and adapted deeply. What looks like charm is often protection. What looks like indifference is often wisdom. What looks like confidence is usually restraint. Pain did not ruin them. It educated them. But here is the part most people miss. This evolution comes with a cost. The same defenses that make a man attractive can also block real intimacy. The scar tissue that protects him from pain can also reduce sensitivity. Strength replaces softness. Control replaces surrender. Some men stay here forever, skilled, desired, but emotionally distant. Others learn something harder. Selective vulnerability. The ability to lower defenses only when trust is earned through consistency, maturity, and behavior over time. That is the real mastery. Not using pain to dominate. Not hiding behind detachment, but choosing when to open and when to stay protected. The goal is not to become unreachable. It is to become unavailable to chaos. The goal is not to never feel. It is to feel without losing yourself. Because real power is not in never getting hurt again. It is in knowing that if you do, you will survive, stronger, clearer, and still capable of connection. Every confident man was once uncertain. Every calm man was once emotional. Every grounded man once lost his balance. Pain was the teacher. Awareness was the lesson. And the question is not whether love will hurt you. The question is whether you let it break you or build you.